The UK has overtaken Germany. It's now the largest EV market in Europe. This is a pretty big problem for Germany. I mean, Germany manufactures a lot more electric cars than the UK does, and yet people in the UK are buying a lot more EVs. The German automotive market is significantly bigger than the UK's automotive market. Obviously, Germany has a bigger population than the UK, but unfortunately for German automakers, a lack of subsidies and really unclear and confusing policy around EVs in Germany is hurting EV brands. It's hurting EVs themselves. And as a result, well, the UK said, thanks very much. We'll take your position in first place. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. What does this mean? Well, first of all, the UK has overtaken Germany as Europe's largest EV market. The UK has overtaken Germany to become Europe's largest market for purely electric cars, not plug-in hybrids, just EVs alone. With nearly 382,000 EVs registered, the UK beat Germany by just 1,000 units. But this is still a significant milestone because obviously the German economy is in a crisis. And a lot of people think, you know what? This is just really kind of showing what's happening in Germany overall. The milestone highlights the UK's accelerating transition to EVs, driven by strong consumer demand and supportive policies like the zero emission vehicle mandate. That's helping. Obviously, the fact that Germany completely cancelled all subsidies is hurting them. While Germany faced a temporary slowdown due to strategic delays and subsidy changes, the UK's success sets a powerful example for other European markets as they prepare for tighter emissions regulations in the coming years. Interestingly, though, cars, particularly electric cars, are very expensive in the UK because of taxes. Taxes on all cars in the UK are quite expensive. So actually, cars are cheaper to buy in Germany than the UK. However, 2024 will be remembered as a pivotal moment, says evboosters.com, in the UK's journey towards electrification. For the first time, the UK surpassed Germany to claim the top spot as Europe's largest market for purely electric vehicles. Data from Schmidt Automotive Research said that the UK registered 381,970 EVs last year. Germany registered 380,600. So, I mean, the UK only won by about 1,300. But it does look like the UK is going to get some more momentum this year. We've seen more EV models launched in the UK. And, if you're going in the right direction, you might continue to go in that direction. The UK's impressive numbers were bolstered by a sharp rise in EV adoption. According to the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, EVs accounted for around 20% of the UK's total new passenger car market in 2024, which saw 1,952,000 cars sold. So 20%, more than double the adoption of EVs in the United States. I mean, kind of makes you guys in the US look like you're a bit behind. This means nearly 1 in 5 new cars sold, or basically 1 in 5 new cars sold in the UK last year was fully electric. The rapid growth can be partly attributed to the introduction of the zero emission vehicle mandate, which set ambitious targets for automakers while providing flexibility through mechanisms like credit, banking, and borrowing. And realistically, if anything, this year, what's going to happen is EV sales will grow significantly in the UK, not only from having better cars available, more affordable EVs available, longer range EVs available, but also for the fact that there is rules in the UK now that if you're a company, you have to hit a certain percentage. You've got to hit about 20% of your sales being electric cars this year. So this is going to push companies to sell more EVs at more reasonable prices. The UK celebrated its milestone, but Germany faced some pretty massive challenges that slightly hindered its EV progress. A combination of factors, including reduced subsidies for corporate drivers in late 2023 and strategic pause in new EV model launches, affected Germany's performance, says evboosters.com. Many automakers delayed the release of new models to align with stricter EU-wide CO2 regulations set to take effect in 2025. Now, what they're doing basically is they know that if they sell electric cars in 2024, they make a loss on them, these German car companies. So they don't want to do it. They want to hold off as long as they can. Now, in 2025, they have no choice. They've got to sell electric cars. Otherwise, they're going to have to be paying billions of dollars in fines or paying Tesla lots of money to take their emissions credits. It's one or the other. So essentially, they're saying, well, we'll we won't sell too many electric cars. We'll pretend that people don't want them, but actually we're just going to make the prices pretty unreasonable, and therefore we'll blame consumers. We'll just say, oh, consumer demand is really, really low. And then in 2025, when we have to sell them, all right, we'll sell some then. We'll release some decent pricing in 2025. Sure, we'll make a loss, but at least we won't have to pay billions of dollars in fines. So it's a strategic plan here. And honestly, that's not a conspiracy theory. I mean, analysts in the industry would tell you the same thing. This is just accepted information, public information in the industry. The ZEV mandate in the UK played a crucial role in the UK's achievement. The regulation requires automakers to ensure that a specified percentage of their new car sales are EVs. For 2024, the target was set at 22%. So that obviously is helping. The UK's success in 2024 provides a roadmap for other European countries as they prepare for stricter regulations. Starting in 2025, EU markets, including Norway and Iceland, will face tougher CO2 emissions targets, requiring a 15% reduction in fleet average CO2 levels compared to 2021. It's not that big of a deal. 15% compared to, 4 years ago shouldn't be that difficult. Automakers must bring their fleet emissions down to 93.6 grams per kilometre, which is a pretty challenging but achievable goal as long as they sell plenty of electric cars. The UK's performance demonstrates that with the right policies and consumer incentives, markets can meet these targets. And one of the big advantages here is, when you're walking through your cities, through London, you're going to be less swamped in pollution, less likely to have to breathe in all these toxic chemicals. So I think it's a big win for people living in the UK. Germany's decline in EV registrations is likely to be temporary. But here's a big problem. Recent research was done over the last month showing that people in Germany are confused. They're saying, well, they think incentives are going to come back, but they're not sure who's going to get voted into the government. So everyone's in limbo. They don't know what's going to happen. Therefore, 70% of buyers are holding off from purchasing an electric car simply because they're not sure what's going to happen, what government regulations are going to be made or changed. Analysts, including those at Schmidt Automotive Research, though, do anticipate a recovery by late 2025. This rebound will be driven by the return of 3-year lease drivers to the market and the reintroduction of corporate incentives. Additionally, delayed EV model launches will flood the market in 2025 as manufacturers aim to meet these stricter emissions targets so they don't have to pay billions of dollars of fines. This cyclical recovery will likely restore Germany's position as a leading EV market or the leading EV market in Europe. But it might not. What do you guys think? Let me know what your thoughts are. The UK's achievement in overtaking Germany is more than just a numbers game. It's a reflection of shifting consumer preferences, effective regulatory frameworks, and the resilience of the automotive industry. It highlights, says evboosters.com, the importance of proactive policies like the ZEV mandate in driving the transition to zero-emission vehicles. As Europe collectively moves towards tighter regulations, the UK's performance serves as both an inspiration and a benchmark. Now, there is one thing the UK could do a lot better. Electricity prices in the UK are ridiculously high. I don't know why. It's insane. It doesn't make any sense. Electricity prices, for example, in the city with around 65 million people in China, or the area in China with around 65 million people, where 51% of all cars currently on the road are electric. They have succeeded in getting people to buy electric cars because electricity there is so cheap. In fact, it's 85% cheaper in that region of China than it costs on average in the UK. So if the UK can bring electricity prices down, which they should be able to, I just don't understand, they're so expensive there, that will incentivize a lot more people to want to buy an electric car. The UK's emergence, though, as Europe's largest EV market is a testament to its commitment to a greener future. Challenges remain, including infrastructure development and affordability, but this milestone underscores the nation's potential to lead the way in Europe in electric mobility. With Germany poised for a comeback and other EU markets gearing up for regulatory shifts, while the stage is set for enormous electric car growth through Europe over the next 5 years. I believe Europe will go from around 20% EV adoption today, or just under, to around 80% by 2030. 5 years away. I know it's soon, but it's very likely to happen when you consider all those things I've mentioned. New regulations, improvements in EVs, prices continuing to come down, battery pack prices pushing down the price of electric cars. All of this will combine together where we're going to see that S-curve adoption rate kind of skyrocket. It's going to happen very, very quickly. What are your thoughts? Let me know what you think in the comments. Are my predictions a little bit crazy or are they realistic? Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.